Hello everyone, Jill Lorenz here with more tips for the holiday season. I'd like you to think about timing your celebrations a little bit differently if you have a person with Alzheimer's or some type of dementia that has memory loss like Parkinson's disease or Lewy body. The reason for this is because you may have had the same things going on every year and you just love having the whole family over to your home, and you have 10 or 12 people and kids running around and things like that, and the person with dementia gets really upset and is struggling to really enjoy themselves. It's just really hard when there's just a lot of noise and everyone's talking at once. It's important to ask your guests to please speak one at a time. And if that person has late early stage or mid-stage dementia, you should speak one at a time and talk about old times, not new issues that are going on or current events, because they may not be able to follow those and they won't have a good time. So let's think about those kinds of things. And do you have to have it at your house this year? Can't someone else hold it? A daughter, a son, an aunt, an uncle, a brother or sister of that person, a child of that person, that is an adult. Can you have it at your house this year? And that way, if you want to take your loved one who has the dementia over to somebody else's house, you can determine how long you stay, an hour or two maybe. If you are going to have it at your house, can you think about changing some of those traditions that will fit better for your needs, like maybe having an open house throughout the day and people call first before they come? That would be very, very helpful with the person so that they don't get overwhelmed that has that memory loss or dementia. You could serve sparkling apple juice and things like that instead of maybe having wine on the table that could complicate things. Those little tweaks could make a big difference for you. Keep the lights on and have the room bright so that that person can see everyone and everything and not have any trouble as they're looking around. You might consider having people wear a name tag so that that person that has the memory loss has a fighting chance of knowing who the people are that they're greeting and not hurting anyone's feelings if they don't recognize them. Okay? So those are a couple of things that you could do as a new tradition. Also making sure everybody understands the situation. It wouldn't hurt to send a letter out to everyone before they come, just saying, my loved one looks a little bit different this year. They're a little bit more confused. Send a picture of them and say, listen, they're still the same person. Talk to them like they're a normal person, not like they have any type of memory loss or cognitive impairment. And let's respect them and make sure that we maintain their dignity and their quality of life through the holidays by just talking to them like we used to. Talk about celebrations gone by and how much you enjoyed them, things that you were thankful for and things like that. Those types of things can really make people comfortable and let them have a good time through the holidays. But be sure to set limits on what you can do and what you can't do and what's possible for you and your loved one. Simple gatherings might be best instead of having everybody all together. Maybe just a couple of people over for dinner. Or, as I said, just ways to simplify the events themselves. And again, don't be afraid to ask somebody else to host that holiday. Hey, how about gifts for the caregiver? If there's a primary caregiver, ask them what they want for the holidays. And if they don't have any ideas, I've got a few for you. Why don't you give them a gift certificate to a spa where they could go and maybe have a nice massage or a facial, get their nails done, get their hair done, a gift certificate to their favorite store so they can buy some new clothes for themselves. Something for the household budget. Could you pay for some food for a month, or to have somebody come in and clean for them from maybe a cleaning company, a house cleaning company. Make some frozen foods or some foods that you can put dates on and put it in the refrigerator for them. See if you can go to the grocery store and buy them some things that they might need. Maybe if their loved one is in a care community, you could have regular visits. If they're not in a care community and they're at their home, could you give them a bit of your time, maybe an hour a month, where they can go and do something else and you can do some activities with the person so that the person that is the primary caregiver can have a little rest and enjoyment? How about some safety devices for the home, bells or signage, pictures for cabinets, safety locks for areas that they shouldn't go into or they don't want them to get into, like cleaning cabinets and things like that. A coupon for coffee or a movie with a friend. So things like that could really help that person. Now, how about the person with the Alzheimer's or the Parkinson's or Lewy body or whatever the memory loss is? How about sneakers with Velcro or easy opening care clothing? You can go on a place called Buck and Buck on the internet, and they have snap away clothes. So they snap and then you can just break them away, and you can do that with shirts and you can do that with pants if that person has any aches and pains that prohibit them from dressing and undressing in a manner that is comfortable for them. Okay, those kind of things can really help. How about tickets to a ball game or the zoo or the circus or maybe a national park or a state park? How about maybe photo albums that are labeled with the names of the people in the photos? That's always a fun thing to do. And you can also go on Shutterfly and make your own photo albums that are just beautiful. Maybe you could make it of the pets that they used to own, or your family when you were all much younger, them when they were kids, or maybe even holidays gone by, so you can share those kinds of things. You could take them on a short car ride. That could be really fun. Take them to the movies, take them to Dairy Queen, buy them some music CDs so that they can enjoy some nice lighthearted or Christmas music, or just music that could be enjoyable for them to hear. Modeling clay or Play-Doh would be a fun thing for them to work with and mold and make into different objects. Art supplies. Could be crayons and coloring books, or it could be actually an easel with a canvas and some watercolors or some paints that they could create their own images and whatever they enjoy or envision in their mind that they might want to put on that canvas. How about some early stage games, maybe a deck of cards or some fun game that they played when they were a child, Operation or Battleship or Backgammon, Scrabble, old trivia game. You might be able to go to a consignment shop or something like that and get things like that. A visit with your pet. If you have a lovely pet that is well-mannered and is groomed and teeth brushed and so forth, that'd be a great idea to bring over for the person with memory loss. They'd really enjoy that. How about just your attention? A hug, a little time with them, a hand massage, something like that that you could do. Sit and have a cup of hot chocolate with them. Try and see what you can do to make their holiday as fun and enjoyable as you possibly can. Speaking of clothes, you could also get them some jumpsuits or easy to remove clothing that is super comfortable, jogging suits, brightly colored cardigan sweaters, slipper socks with non-skid soles, leg warmers. People with Alzheimer's or different memory loss dementias have a hard time keeping their body warm, so maybe you could get them a new coat or something like that. Let's see, maybe even just bringing a special dinner over for them and having a candlelight dinner or just a fun time with them over a nice meal. Things like that could be really, really wonderful. All right, and remember at your holiday gatherings, think about having name tags on so they know who is who in the house. Remember to have some quiet time during your holiday gatherings as well, so that that person doesn't get overwhelmed. Maybe have a favorite Christmas CD or a DVD that they could watch, and just some good activities like maybe a card game or something like that that they could play so that they can relax, and have an old photo album that they could sit and go through, and you can tell them who's who in the photo albums. Okay? So I hope these kind of things really help you through the holidays. I want you to also think about possibly being very careful with plants like poinsettias, which can be poisonous. Don't give your loved one with memory loss a gumdrop wreath or anything like that that they think they can just take the pieces off and eat, especially if you sprayed it with silicone. Be very careful of any wreaths or Christmas decorations that have berries on them. If you give those to those folks, they may think they are real and try to eat them, and they could get sick or choke on them. Okay? Think about those kinds of things. If you have popcorn strung on your Christmas tree, make sure that you're watching that person so they don't think it's real and they can eat it. Mostly, just give your love and your time to your loved one during this holiday season. Include them in the baking and the cooking and enjoying the festivities. If you're going to make some holiday drinks, invite them in the kitchen and let them add a couple of ingredients just carefully so that they turn out right and they taste well. Keep them away from hot objects like hot stoves or burners or anything like that. But let them participate in making the holiday meals if they want to, okay? Well, I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. I want to have a lot of tips for you throughout this season, and I know that it's a difficult time when you come home and you find your loved one that has some type of impairment and it's a surprise to you. If you need any help, go on my website, summitresiliencetraining.com. I've got a lot of good resources for you, books that I've reviewed for you, and I'll tell you what they're like and what their levels are, and if you will think they are academic or if they're good for children or what have you. I also have 26 bundles on my bundle page that help you with everything from discussing driving, wandering issues, bathing without a battle, and a lot of different things that you're going to need to discuss with family members about your loved one's care. Okay, so again, summitresiliencetraining.com. I wish you all a very happy holiday season, and I'll be back with more tips throughout the month. Take care, everyone.